global spectacle made for the lights of Las Vegas. A new future on the horizon for Formula One with our city at the center of it. Plus, a new challenge for F1 drivers looking to make a statement in Sin City. All for one goal of becoming the first Formula One driver to win the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Tonight, we take you behind the scenes of the glitz and glamour of race week. Plus, what you need to know when the drivers push their limits. Las Vegas. It's time to start your engines. It's officially race week here in Las Vegas.
Here we go. We are in for a lot of action and excitement over the next 3 days as the Formula One Las Vegas Grand Prix takes over town. Good evening. Glad you're with us for this special broadcast, Formula Vegas Guide to the Grid. I'm Jim Snyder.
And I'm Marie Mortera. Over the next half hour, we are giving you a unique behind-the-scenes look at some of the most luxurious experiences in our city over race week. Hear from one of the many performers ready to get the party started for thousands of F1 fans for the inaugural Las Vegas Grand Prix.
And if you don't know much about this sport yet, that's okay. Our sports team will guide you through everything you need to know when the best Formula One drivers rip down the Las Vegas Strip in search of an historic podium finish. The next 3 days are some of the most anticipated ever in auto sports history.
But before we get you prepared on the present, let's take you to the past, specifically to the 80s when our city hosted its first Las Vegas Grand Prix.
Yeah, the Caesars Palace Grand Prix was held here in 1981 and 82. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't considered much of a success. Historians say the track was unpopular with the drivers, among some other issues. The old track, by the way, is now occupied by the Caesars Forum Shops and the Mirage.
Now, fast forward 40 years later to March of 2022, F1 officials announcing that Formula One will return to Las Vegas, but this time, bigger and better than ever. A 3.6-mile track that carves through one of the most well-known streets in the world. But the announcement didn't come without a cost.
Over the past year and a half, as we've been gearing up for this, a lot of locals have had what you might call a love-hate relationship with F1. Excited about it, but mostly because of the massive traffic impacts caused by repaving on all the streets that will be part of this track, including a stretch of the Las Vegas Strip. And that wasn't the only big construction project to get ready for the race.
Yeah, let's talk about that $500 million pit building also constructed to serve as the start and finish line for the race and as the hub for all U.S. F1 operations. According to Las Vegas Grand Prix CEO Renee Wilm, the pit building is ushering in a new era for F1 here in the United States.
We are doing this because we believe in the future of Formula One. We know that this is a location that we want to race in for decades to come, and we expect not only a great return, but we expect this to take our sport to the next level.
It really has been something to watch that massive complex go up so quickly at Harmon and Koval, and I had the chance to tour the pits and the grandstands so I can show you some of the best views for fans paying top dollar. We started on the ground floor where the multi-million-dollar race cars are fine-tuned and rolled out onto the track. This is the pit building with the garages for the racing teams, and at 300,000 square feet, it's the biggest on the F1 circuit.
Even more impressive when you consider it was all built in less than a year. You notice a lot of foreign accents among the work crews, an international crowd, just like Formula One drivers and fans. Above the pits, 3 floors of grandstands with sweeping views of the racetrack.
Anyone with tickets to this pit complex can come up here to the rooftop, look down, and have a fantastic view of this stretch of the track.
That's the start-finish line down at the end, so these are primo seats.
This is the other side of that pit complex building, and you can see just a ton more grandstands, more fans here. They'll be watching the cars go that direction, around that curve to the right, onto Koval Lane, and then it's on toward the Sphere.
Add it all up and you get a seating capacity around the entire course, upwards of 100,000 people.
This is a tunnel built under the track. Not all Formula One courses have them. Some have walkways over the track on top, but here they didn't want to block the action or any views of the fantastic Las Vegas skyline.
The Las Vegas Street Course has 17 turns. Top speeds for the race cars next week could exceed 210 miles an hour.
This is a top-end experience. This is one of the luxury skyboxes, very swanky inside, and check out the view from the deck as the cars race by on the track. The pit building there, it really is something to see. It's just such a massive scale. It'll serve as the main hub for a lot of the race action set for this week.
And this includes practice and qualifying races. And if you don't know what those mean, don't worry. Here at News 3, we are here to guide you through what you need to know to enjoy the race this year and years to come.
Our sports director, Brian Salmon, and Jesse Merrick join us now from the Strip. Brian and Jesse, what do we need to know to be able to enjoy the big race?
Yes, thank you very much. Jesse Merrick, Brian Salmon here at Cabo Wabo, of course. Hey, they have a fantastic view of the Strip, Bellagio, part of the race. It's going to be fantastic when F1, the Las Vegas Grand Prix, comes to Las Vegas.
I can't wait for it. One of the best spots here, that's for sure. But look, guys, there's so much that goes into F1. If you've been around town, you've seen all the setup for it. And everyone's mind is on race day on Saturday. We'll get there, but first, let's start with practice.
Yeah, well, that's where race weekend begins, with practice, which allows teams to fine-tune their setups and try to get every single ounce of performance out of those cars.
Yeah, that's right, Brian. After practice is in the books, they hit the track for a 3-part qualifying session against the clock to determine the starting order for race day. The winner of qualifying starts at the front. You know, that's also known as pole position.
Yeah, very good. So, with the pre-race particulars out of the way, what are you actually going to see on race day?
Green flag at the back. The Sao Paulo Grand Prix is 5 lights away. Formula One goes racing in Sao Paulo once again. Good reaction time for Lando Norris.
Well, let's start with the track itself. They'll run, 50 laps on a track that spans 3.8 miles long with a total of 17 corners and a long, beautiful straightaway that runs 1.2 miles from the Palazzo all the way down right here to Planet Hollywood.
That's definitely going to be the coolest stretch up the track where the Strip will be featured. You'll see these cars reach a top speed of around 230 miles per hour, Brian. That is cooking it. For perspective, we mentioned those corners, the hood G-forces that only fighter pilots can relate to. That's cornering forces around 5 Gs.
I hit G-forces all the time when I'm in my ride, but you know what? It may seem like an individual sport, but F1 is actually, folks, a team sport featuring 10 teams made up of 2 drivers. Now, even though it's a team sport, there's only one driver that gets all the glory. He reigns supreme this year. You know what his name is?
Max Verstappen wins the Sao Paulo Grand Prix with a superb drive.
Max Verstappen, who's won 3 straight world championships and crushed the field this year, winning all but 2 races. That's 17 wins. And because of that, he's already got his 4th championship locked in the bag.
But even though Max and Team Red Bull have the title locked up, the battle for the other spots are still huge, because even though the drivers don't get prize money based on the results, the teams do. And just one place improvement in the standings can mean a massive financial injection to the team to help for the following season. And with just 2 more races to go in the regular season, Las Vegas will determine a lot of where that money ends up next season. So obviously this is going to be big for those teams trying to get as much cash in their pockets as they can for next season, Brian.
Man, this race is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And you know what? I caught up with a race expert. His name is Mike Fox. He's been covering motorsports for 30 years plus. He explains, it goes a little bit deeper of why the Las Vegas Grand Prix is so cool to us here in Las Vegas and people all around the world.
Give it up for Formula One tonight in Vegas!
I'm extremely excited for Vegas. This was going to be the best race of all time.
And how can you disagree with that? The sports and entertainment capital of the world being awarded another international sporting event like F1 racing. Mike Fox, a motorsports media man for over 30 years, agrees with Hamilton and Verstappen. The Las Vegas Grand Prix should be fantastic.
21, 22 events on the calendar, and for the United States to get 3 of those, and now this one, the 3rd one coming to Las Vegas. I mean, let's look at it, Brian. Boxing was the big first starter in sports, then NASCAR came, and then we got everything that fell in line, the Raiders, the Golden Knights, the Aces, UNLV's having a good one. We had IndyCar. God bless Dan Weldon, who was killed here tragically a few years ago. Don't know if IndyCar will get back, but F1 is the premier of motorsports. We are talking high-dollar, high-performance race cars. 10 teams, 20 drivers will battle it out.
And what a spectacle it'll be when they get to racing. But even before that, are you aware of the ridiculous logistics it takes to even get the F1 cars to our fabulous city of Las Vegas? Remember, these vehicles are being shipped around the world via massive Boeing 737s along with portable headquarters. It's an eye-opening global operation.
Their fueling stations have to be, their pits all have to be put together. So it's loaded on into a big transport planes and brought in. In fact, I would really like to be out there the day the planes come in to see them unloaded, because you're going to have 20, 24 big, gigantic super planes that are going to unload 10 teams. Each team has 2 cars, so that'll be 20 cars that they'll bring in, plus all the gear that comes with it. It is going to be something to see.
As will the cars racing, driving on the strip at over 200 miles per hour, sparks flying with a backdrop like no other, only matched by an economic fan base like we've never seen for any sporting event in this town.
The big difference of it is this is international. We are going to have motorsports racing people, media coverage, fans coming from all over the world to watch the Las Vegas Grand Prix coming up a week before Thanksgiving here. I mean, this is going to be an international, just not Americans coming. This is going to be people from London, from Russia, from all over the world that are going to come to this town to watch one of the most exciting events I think you're going to see. Beer drinking to champagne, my friend, and that's it. Cheeseburgers to caviar. These guys are high-dollar cocktails, champagne, $100 cigars. It's just, in the parties that you're going to see, a lot of fashion. The women are going to be dressed up. The men are going to be dressed up in nice clothes, nice things.
So the race is going to be fantastic, but I'm sure we all can't wait to get our city back. Yeah. For Jesse, I'm Brian. Let's go ahead and get it back to you in the studio.
All right, guys, thanks for all the great information there. We're becoming experts already, right? And there is no doubt about it. There's no denying it. Formula One is a male-dominated sport. In fact, you won't see any female drivers in the Las Vegas Grand Prix, but a number of women are really behind the scenes running the show.
News 3's Latoya S now with the inside track on the ladies in charge of bringing the motorsport to Las Vegas and making sure it is a success.
Jim and Marie, the girl power starts at the top with CEO Renee Welm, but she's not the only one breaking new ground in the sport. Supercharged engines with skilled drivers racing at daring speeds. You can expect to see this and more at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. But this isn't your father's Formula One.
We have brought Formula One to an entire segment of the population who are women, who are loving the drama, the glamour, the fun of the drivers and seeing what they're doing on social media. This was what we were hoping for when we bought this sport, and we couldn't be happier with how it's progressed.
And as the CEO of the Las Vegas Grand Prix, Renee Welm is leading the way. The deal-making lawyer for parent company Liberty Media Corporation turned chief executive officer welcomes the challenge.
So you're working probably almost around the clock, I would imagine.
Yes.
Wow.
But how could you pass up this kind of an opportunity? I mean, this is a once in a lifetime to bring a Formula One race to Las Vegas, year one. I mean, there's just no words. When you think about what a Saturday night race down the iconic Las Vegas Strip with all of the marquees and the lights, there is no other place on this planet that you can get that kind of marriage of glamour and racing and speed.
So here we've got our exhibition car that we've got here in Las Vegas Grand Prix.
Formula One also has several other women in leadership positions like Sylvia Below, the Senior Director of Race Operations.
I really like the sport. I got involved as a volunteer a while ago when I was just 16 years old, and I've never thought, to be honest, that that will be my career path.
The Barcelona, Spain native can tell you everything you need to know about Formula One, including its state-of-the-art cars, the pit, and what it takes to create the Las Vegas Strip circuit.
And it's something that I'm very proud of as well, is that I've been the first and only woman that's been at this stage steward and race director.
Two trailblazers leading the way in Las Vegas, out to expand the motorsport along the way.
We can say very loud and clear that we're proud that we are bringing younger spectators and that we're also opening to new demographics.
It is my goal that one day you will see women throughout the entire Formula One ecosystem.
1976 was the last time a woman competed in a Grand Prix. F1 Academy hopes to change that with a new all-women series. William says the Academy is the first step to creating a pipeline of young drivers who can one day sit in an F1 car seat. Latoya S, News 3.
Still to come, we go behind the scenes of one of the most exclusive VIP packages for the big race. What's being offered at what price?
And it's going to be a stacked entertainment lineup for all of race week. Coming up, we're going to talk with Steve Aoki about his big performance and what he's most looking forward to.
And before we head to break, a little bit of F1 trivia for you. There have been a lot of races in the history of Formula One racing, but when was the first race in the auto sports history? The correct answer is 1946 in Parco del Valentino, Italy. The winner of that race, Achille Varsi in an Alfa Romeo 158 Alfetta.
When we're talking about Grand Prix weekend, you've heard a lot of talk about the major money fans are expected to drop here in Las Vegas. The massive fleet of private jets in town right now, pretty good indicator of that.
And another indicator is the number of high roller packages casinos and resorts are rolling out for Formula One. Our Brett Forrest takes us on a tour at the Virgin Hotel, Las Vegas.
This weekend is about a lot more than just the race itself. It's about the full Vegas experience. So a lot of casinos and hotels are offering full weekend packages. And here at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas, they're giving us access and an inside look. So let's go check it out. The glitz, glamour, pomp, and circumstance of the Las Vegas Grand Prix is not found just on the race circuit itself.
Only Vegas can do an event like this.
But also in the properties all around the Strip, with many offering massive race packages for those die-hard fans, who also have a hefty pocketbook. Caesars offering a $5 million race package with a private chef, butler, and driver. Wynn Resorts with the $1 million offering. Palm Resorts pushing out a $777,000 experience. And then, just a couple hundred yards from the pit building, the center of the F1 action, is the Virgin Hotel.
We're very excited here at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas to be part of F1, literally on the front door of the East Harmon Zone. And that's where the race starts, stops, celebrates.
Their race weekend packages ranging from $22,000 up to $150,000. Virgin's packages including stays in their suites, seats in some of the most exclusive stands, and entertainment like a birthday celebration for rapper Future.
All of us don't really know what to expect this first year. We're expecting big things, but like anything, it comes down to attitude and effort. And with our property, we're putting our best attitude forward, the best effort to welcome all these global visitors and really take advantage of this inaugural year, which is the chance of a lifetime.
And I know a lot of these packages might feel like they're out of your price range, but that's okay because if you're local or a tourist and you want to come just check out the hotel here at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas, you're welcome to. It might hit capacity though, so you're encouraged to make reservations and bookings ahead of time. I'm Brett Forrest reporting from Virgin Hotels Las Vegas, News 3.
Serious money. And another thing a lot of people are looking forward to is the entertainment. Included in that lineup is iconic DJ and producer Steve Aoki.
News 3's Tiffany Lane spoke with him about preparations and what it means to have him at this grand event in his home city.
Guys, you know my music is supercharged. It's all about the turbo.
Steve Aoki is always bringing the energy. The Las Vegas resident and one of the most recognizable DJs in the world spoke with News 3 from what looked like the inside of a rocket.
I'm on the moon. I'm just kidding. I'm in my hyperbaric chamber, getting pure oxygen.
You can call it the lab where he's preparing his performance for the historic opening ceremony of the Formula One Grand Prix in the entertainment capital.
My new album's dropping. Hero Quest 2 is dropping November 17th. And F1's all happening around the same time. So I want to play the new, but I also want to play classics.
And while those around him say he's the hardest working man you'll ever meet, Aoki still plans to take some time to enjoy the races.
So Lewis is an old dear friend. And, you know, I'm a big supporter of him. I love Max Verstappen. Love Max. You know, Lando is amazing. Leclerc is great.
And you've created just an epic lifestyle with your involvement in literally everything, even outside of music. But where do you think F1 in Las Vegas is going to rank on that list?
This is going to be epic because it's in my home. It's like really big. It's a big deal for me that it's in Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas, I'm Tiffany Lane for News 3.
I love you guys. F1. Let's go, F1.
And with that, the party officially gets started tonight. Our Kristen Drummond brings us a preview on what to expect for the big opening ceremony.
And as we head to break, we have a little more F1 trivia for you. Many great drivers have reached the podium at the end of an F1 race, but who has the most podium finishes? Is it Max Verstappen, who you've been hearing so much about this year, Michael Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton, or Fernando Alonso? The correct answer is Lewis Hamilton. He has 191 podium finishes. Next on that list is F1 legend Michael Schumacher, who has 155. Welcome back. Before we wave the checkered flag here, the countdown is on for the official start of F1 events in Las Vegas in just a few moments.
So exciting. Our Kristen Drummond here in studio, and she has a preview of the opening ceremony and what fans can expect at the big celebration.
Jim and Marie, you can just feel the energy right now. The party starts at Grand Prix Plaza, right in between the pit building and main grandstand. And fans who aren't down there now may be missing out on one of the biggest shows to come through Vegas.
The opening ceremony will rival, if not surpass, a Super Bowl halftime show.
Motorsport and music combine. Renee Wilm with F1 promises a show unlike any other to celebrate the big race. From fireworks to 100 lasers, the pit building is the place to be. Expect performances by award-winning musicians like Keith Urban, along with appearances by local performers, including the Blue Man Group. F1 anticipates a crowd of nearly 30,000 people at the show. The pit building sold out, but F1 suspects not all will show up the first night. So that's allowing some a chance to be a part of this moment.
We have accordingly providing an opportunity for seat fillers for the main grandstand for people to be able to come in, purchase a ticket, and enjoy what will be an epic show to kick off race weekend.
The opening ceremony includes the driver introductions, so expect to see all 20 of them here as the town toasts to F1. Jim and Marie.
You can really feel the energy throughout the city, can't you? Well, thank you for tuning in, getting not only some F1 history, Las Vegas history as well, and hype.
First year is always going to be the most challenging. We'll be here to cover it all for you, whatever happens. This is the finish line of our behind-the-scenes look at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. So now, with that, Las Vegas, let the races begin.